What is up, Brood? Eric here with Team Badman. Welcome you guys to a special edition of Table Talk. As you guys can see, it looks a little bit different. I don't, have the green screen, as green at the moment. It's not, flashy. It's not fancy or anything. 'Cause I'm feeling kind of lazy about it at the moment, just because of, how quickly things unexpectedly dropped on us. Today is Friday, and of course we got a blog update, and it features new CRD 4.6, featuring a couple of very, very important updates that, quite frankly, I am excited to see. And I want to address those just really quick. It's not going to be very, very long. Just kind of want to go over them just really nice and quick, just to kind of get some thoughts out for it and whatnot. So CRD 4.6 officially goes into effect on Monday. So all of the current rulings that are in there go as they go. So if you're doing, any events and whatnot, you just stick to what we've currently got. But there are two massively important changes that happen in the current CRD. The first one of those is Unleashed is now officially banished after use, which is something that should have been a really, really long time ago. Unleashed is an amazingly powerful card, and the thing about the card is when it first came out, I think it was more intended for some of those lower tier MPs to really get a buff and get to their important higher levels and actually get a little bit of traction. So it kind of took C tier MPs, moving them up to B tier, took B tier MPs, moving them up to A tier and whatnot. You guys know all about that, exactly how it is. The issue is a lot of players saw it as a very powerful tool in lots of powerful decks as well. You saw Brawly decks run, you saw Cooler decks run it, and then lately we've had Goku and Vegeta decks running it. So it took these A and these S tier MPs and it bumped them up to a whole new level, just so outrageously powerful. And I think the main reason it came around, which we all already know, is Goku had the ability to continually abuse it over and over and over again, because that's kind of what Goku does. He just likes to draw a lot of cards, and that was this here. I think this, though, is the right way to go about it. Limiting it to a certain amount or a certain number of times it could be used in combat would not necessarily have fixed the issue automatically, because it would still be possible to pull out with Visiting the Past again. It'd still be possible to re-abuse in the span of a few short combats. Sure, it slows down decks that would be using it, but the ability to reuse it in general was a major problem with it. So I'm really glad to see Banish After Use get added. Like I said, it should have been there in the first place. It's a really light touch onto the card. It's still 100% perfectly playable. If you're planning on pulling Unleashed out of your deck, don't. Unleashed is still just as good as it's ever been. It just means you can't continuously recycle and abuse it, and you actually have to organically draw into them, which is still completely possible, and decks should still be running Unleashed nonetheless. It's great, and this touch was just awesome. Absolutely fantastic. Great job, guys. And the second one is worded a little bit differently than I honestly expected. It's Orange Checkup Drill, which of course we already know that Orange Checkup Drill and Orange Dismissal was kind of a degenerate combo. You could, shuffle it back into your life deck with Dismissal, pull it back out, grab another block, continue to recycle it, because drills don't retain memory. And now what they could have done is could have said, we're going to add a mechanic now so the drills retain memory, but that would change a very core mechanic of drills that's been around since set 1, and it would change the way a lot of drills just operate in general. So instead, Checkup Drill now has a parenthetical that says, when this drill enters play during combat, if it's the first time a card tiled Orange Checkup Drill has entered play, you may search your life deck for a style block and place it in your hand. So that's now identical to Singing Drill and to Red Sword Slicing Drill. They did actually mention that wrong in the article. It says Trunks' Sword Play Drill instead, which, we already knew exactly what they were trying to get at with it. But the way it's worded is very interesting. Basically, it's then a race against Retribution decks in a mirror match, saying the first one to get out Checkup Drill gets the advantage. Because if you place out your Checkup Drill, then, if it's the first time it came out, you get to search out your block, you get to send there. But then if your opponent does it after, they can't do it, because it doesn't specify if it's the first time you have placed a card with tiled Orange Checkup Drill in play. It's the first time in general, so it's not decks repeatedly recycling it over and over and over again. So I feel like that was worded a little more oddly than it was expected, and players are already starting to see that. But that makes it no less effective. It's still a reasonably solid drill. You still get the Rejuvenate 2 on it, which is awesome, a huge thing for Orange. But it's not as abusable, and I think with that, I think the idea of using, just constantly trying to use and reabuse Dismissal is a little bit more questionable. I think players are going to be slightly less inclined to shuffle in, checkup drill with Dismissal and then immediately grab another one. While it's not a bad idea in the current meta with the ability to recycle and grab other blocks, there may just be better options for the combats. And I think now that you can only grab one block in a combat, you have more variety, more flexibility to grab whenever you want, and players are going to be more inclined to do that now. So it's kind of how checkup drill should have been in the first place. It just makes sense. It just works. The fact that it impacts both players is a little surprising to me. It realistically is, but overall, very solid job they did. Very reasonable touch on the CRD. I think the biggest thing here is the fact that, they really did keep a very light touch on it. They exemplified that they didn't want to go over the top, just change a bunch of core mechanics, change a lot of cards. And that's one thing that has shown up on Retro lately. Someone, I don't remember who it is, but they shared an article about Versus System and basically kind of retconning the effects of Thanos. And I'm glad Panini didn't necessarily go about it that way, just completely butcher the cards, but instead they're balanced now. They're very usable. It makes perfect sense. Plus, in the CRD, Black Smoothness Drill has been removed from that 1 per deck limitation, so it's now officially back to 3 as of Monday in the written CRD. Awesome, just great. But that is basically it. I just wanted to address those really quickly. Panini, you guys did a great job. Keep up the awesome work on the CRD fixes and the erratas and whatnot. You guys are doing just an amazing job on it's keeping the game rolling really well. So that's pretty much it here. You guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. I'm going to get back to editing. We do have one more bad build tonight. I'm sure you guys are going to love it. So be sure to keep an eye out for all of that. But that's pretty much going to do it. I'm Eric Team Badman signing out. So thank you guys for watching. And like always, stay bad. We'll see you guys next time. Catch you later.